This is just the best part of my day.
Nope, scratch that. Reverse it.
My grandma and your grandma sitting by the fire. My grandma told your grandma, I'm gonna set your flag on fire. Talking about hey now,
Hey now,
hey now,
hey now.
I go one day.
Oh,
Jacques Finade, Jacques Finade. Look at my king all dressed in red. I go one day. I bet you $5 he'll kill you dead. Jacques Finade. Talking about hey now,
hey now,
hey now,
hey now.
I go one day.
Yeah, I've heard we're no longer plugging things in. I've heard it's unk to plug things in.
That's the word on the street.
I've heard it's unk.
6'7".
6'7" to you as well. 6'7" and also with you.
Also with you. Very 6'7".
Very 6'7" to unk. I'm trying to tap into the youth market, you know what I mean, for this show. I think what kids today want to hear about is discussions of movies and TV shows that came out over 30 years ago. Movies and TV shows that are like their parents' age.
Well, they're actually into the 90s right now because of Love Story and other
Really?
90s revival things. Yeah, like...
Right. I guess Stranger Things is over. The 80s, nostalgia is done. It's time for the 90s.
It's time for the 90s. It's been here for a little while. The fashion of the youths have been really into Y2K, which is not what we even called it back then. Y2K was a singular time. It was a singular 1 year-ish where it was turning from 1 year to another. And then the youth decided to call all of fashion from like 2000 to 2010 Y2K. And then
Y2K actually stands for the year 2000. That's what those letters and number next to each other denote.
Yeah, and so...
I don't know, but it's better than saying the aughts. So yeah, let's call it Y2K. You know what? The youth, they nailed that one, I think.
Yeah, I guess it's better branding. And then Indie Sleaze is back, but also the 90s is back.
Inevitable.
Kind of all of these things put together are back. They're kind
it's
of
being
like...
very compressed, yeah.
Yeah, they're compressing sort of like 2 decades into...
It's kind of like, watching Forrest Gump or something where it's kind of like, and now we have ironed all culture to have been happening simultaneously, you know?
Right.
So we're just experiencing the inevitable disconnect. We're experiencing the disconnect where now, like, there are kids out there whose lame parents' music is like The Killers, you know what I mean?
I don't think they think it's lame either. But what does freak me out is
How
there's
could
a
you?
lot
It's
of
The Killers.
there's a lot of TikToks that's like look, this was my mom in high school, and it's so freaky similar to what our high school was. It was like only 5 years before, and yeah,
Wow.
that's just
they're just
it's freaky to me.
recreating like Mike Mills Beginners, the visual, like, this was 2003. This is what the sun looked like. This is what people looked like. This is what beauty looked like. They're repeating that in, I think let's get beginners trend going on TikTok.
Beginners, like the movie about the old guy who comes out late in life.
Yeah, that one.
I love that movie,
and
but I haven't
I'm bringing
seen
it up not just because I watched it last night. It's always relevant. It's always on the tip of the mind.
I love that movie. Our loyal fan Emily also loves that movie, but I haven't seen it in so long. It made its way onto my first Letterboxd list that I made back in, I don't know, 2017, maybe 2015 even. Beginners was on there as a favorite, and I'm like, well, and now it's been so long, that almost 10 years as a Letterboxd user, that I just remember loving it, but I can't tell you much else about it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's time for you to become a beginner. Go back, hit it up again. I think people ask me sometimes, oh, what do you want Julia Roberts to do? And now I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, I would like her to collaborate with director Mike Mills, who gave us the movies Beginners, 20th Century Women, Come On, Come On. This is what I want. I would like to see that. I would like them to show me that. Yeah, I think that would be a good choice.
I would have to agree. I think, yeah. What are some of the other ones that he's done? Those are some good ones.
That's basically it. He was a documentarian, and those are kind of like his feature film collection. He did some like 2000s indie movie called Thumbsucker that people don't seem to like very much. So he really, Beginners was when he like found his groove, and then he's just, but you got to wait like 5 years for a new Mike Mills project.
Thumbsucker is a terrible name. That is
Awful.
fair.
Really bad. Yeah, I would not call something that I was doing Thumbsucker.
Is the title of this Epi Empire?
Yes, it is the Epi Empire. We're watching the Fox original drama Empire, which is about a music empire. No, of course, our money monsters, our patient money monsters. Welcome back to Run the Julias, the only podcast brave enough to cover every single cinematic work of America's sweetheart Julia Roberts. We are one of Spotify's top 25 highest rated podcasts, top 25% highest rated podcasts. I think I say that wrong every time. I am one of your hosts, TV's Kevin Lanigan, and in the criminal justice system, I am represented by two different but equally important groups.
I'm your other co-host, JessiKat Scott, and I am entering the criminal justice system by taking my second LSAT in a week.
Whoa! Hey, ya! Wow. So this will be so study up on this. I think.
Yeah. No, I'll be watching
to learn.
I will be watching this series, I guess, for the next week. I think we're probably good on just brushing up on the strategy, and I think if I just kind of keep this running in the background, it'll do wonders.
The whole time. It'll soak in, like when you play Mozart for a baby and it makes it
exactly smart, Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm the sort of embryo hearing Mozart in the womb.
Yeah. The Mozart in the womb thing is one of the funniest, like, that's so funny to me that, like, someone's like, yeah, classical music makes you smart. And it's like, in what? You're not learning anything. It's just like a flute. Hearing a flute is not inherently smarter than hearing a guitar.
Well, that's your argument.
I guess so. Yeah, that's fair enough. Our money monsters are patient. Our money monsters are kind. It's been there's been a lot going on in the world of TV's Kevin Lanigan and JessiKat Scott, and separately and together a lot going on. And so it's, our upload schedule, it's been a little inconsistent. It's been a little out of whack. We gave you 2 episodes within 3 days back in February, and then nothing in the month of March. Welcome to April. April showers bring many episodes of the Run the Julias podcast. And so to get us warmed back up, I thought, to coincide with our conspiracy season, let's dip into Julia's 1 episode appearance on Law and Order, season 9, episode 20, Empire.
Hell yeah. And we'll be watching it live and commenting, correct?
Absolutely. Yes,
Yeah.
We have not watched it in advance. We will be, like we usually cover individual TV episodes. We just talk over it and we engage with it that way. So that's going to be a good time. JessiKat, before we begin, what's your Law and Order history? What's your Law and Order lifestyle?
I started binge watching SVU, I think over the holidays-ish, and then I stopped when Peacock just, like, stopped middle of it took out a big chunk of the seasons for some reason. So I watched, like, seasons 4 through 8 or 9, maybe, like 4 seasons, in kind of one go. It was on in the background while I fold laundry. I originally I feel like I sort of stay away from, like, deeply disturbing sexual assault content, but some creator was on a podcast and was like, I find it comforting that they, like, this horrible thing happens and then they usually resolve it, like, 80-90% of the time. Yeah, and that's, like, cathartic to watch over and over again. And so I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of interesting, and I need a background TV show that I don't have to think too hard about. So that is it. I haven't watched Law and Order Vanilla, as you said, but I've watched SVU. I'm attached to Mariska Hargitay emotionally, spiritually. She was on Amy Poehler's podcast sometime last year, and it was very fun.
It seems like they're always having fun over there. It seems like they're always having a laugh in the Amy Poehler podcast studio.
They are. So I'm curious about this because I don't know what the dynamics are on Law and Order Vanilla. I don't know who the sexy will they won't theys are. And we're deep into season 9, which is deeper than I got with SVU. And I think I even started 4. So yeah, this will be deep into the enterprise of Law and Order. They actually renamed a theater at USC. There was this black box theater that we did a lot of student productions in, and they renamed it the Dick Wolf Theater. I guess he renovated it or something. And I think that's so fair because it is a feeder, you know? The black box theater to Law and Order pipeline at USC School of Dramatic Arts, I'm sure, is well worn. But that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's it for me.
I was also I haven't watched much Law and Order since like, high school, since like I watched TV on like an antenna that was hooked up to the TV in my bedroom, but I was an SVU guy as well. I haven't watched a lot of vanilla Law and Order. I don't know the various casts over the years, so I'm excited. But the beautiful thing about Law and Order, you can just dive on in, just pick up any episode. Guess what? They solve a crime.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's a celebrity guest star. Sometimes they pull news stories ripped from the headlines. So we'll have to see what awaits us here. I have no idea, but JessiKat, I am ready to start if you are.
Yeah, I think the most fun part of Law and Order is like us seeing Julia Roberts in this is seeing who the rising starlets are that get little cameos. It's just a constant like little candy nom 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 little dopamine hit.
Although I think this episode comes in well into, I think this is like the late 90s. So this is Julia's like comeback era, I'm fairly certain.
Damn, they must have shelled out some dollars for this.
Big dollars to get her on, absolutely. But
that's fun to see too.
I think post-Oscar, like a year or two after this episode comes out, they're not getting Julia at all. She's not coming in. But they got her right just at the perfect time.
Yeah, it is fun to see when they kind of give a big, talented actor like a really fun random character. Usually they're evil. I feel like usually they're either evil or somebody iconic. It's usually like some sexy iconic boss or some like evil person is usually where they put really famous celebrities. So that's kind of fun. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Episode 20, season 9, Law and Order Vanilla, Empire. TV 14. So if you're a young audience, be mindful.
Be mindful, and we will
Viewer
begin watching
advised.
this episode in 3, 2, 1. Jump, jump. I like that they just tell me about the concept of law enforcement right at the beginning, in case I'm unfamiliar.
Me too. A little dessert, though.
Massimo. I don't know the maitre d's at any of my regular restaurants. I'm not really on first name basis with any of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I usually go to a restaurant that has a maitre d' in the first place. I keep it pretty consistent.
This guy's in his underoos, wearing a very 80s like white collar on a blue dress shirt kind of look.
Dang.
Oh damn, we're rolling. Oh, you know what? I think Julia's on this because she's dating that guy. I think she's dating Benjamin Bratt at this time.
Oh,
and that's how she goes on Law and Order.
That's quite a pull.
Yeah, second Bail Organa, Benjamin Bratt. Okay, well, this guy's Italian accent's a little shaky, I think.
Meatball.
Molto bene. This guy just keeled over. Beautiful fireplace, beautiful rug. He just likes what he sees.
He's so hot.
Very hot. Oh, and now we're funking it with the theme music. It's beautiful.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
Dun, 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 dun.
Bum, bum.
This is a very chilling presentation of images.
They have the same theme song for SVU.
Yeah, well, I mean, they fucking nailed. They knocked it out of the park. Why would you change it? We're laughing. We're solving crimes and we're laughing.
It's kind of like interesting to. Yeah, that is confusing because when it comes on in the background, when you're watching cable.
I'm simply too compelled to speak. I think this might be a problem. I'm really just dialed in on Law and Order.
I think I got a little glitchy. But she's making tea? Is that where you are?
Yeah, electric kettle. Benjamin Bratt is handing her a set of panties in a plastic bag.
Yep, got it. Cool. I'm like 3 seconds off.
So have I ever told you my dream acting role is like mortician or computer guy on a show like this?
Yeah.
They call me in for like one scene every week, and I'm like, I found traces of moon rock in the victim's lungs, and then it's up to the other guys to figure out what that means.
Yeah, I think you would kill it.
Thank
too would like to be sort of a quirky, I get my paycheck, I do my quirked up stuff. I got some weird hair going on. I get to change it season to season. I get a love interest thrown in and out, but they forget little details about me constantly.
Yeah. I want to be on 300 episodes of Law and Order and like never have a plot line centered on me,
Yeah, no bottle episodes for TV Kevin Lanigan.
No, absolutely not.
I like the way you emphasized cock and cocktail.
Cocktail. Because they can't say it is NBC.
That was a fun part of the pit that Noah Wyle was saying. He was like, we can say fuck on HBO Max.
That is
so
fun.
Liberated from ER.
Do you know they don't let the phones on the set of the pit? No, it's a phoneless set.
Yeah, that sounds stressful.
Yeah, everyone on Twitter is convinced that Noah Wyle is like a despot, a huge egotist, like a fucking the Mao Zedong of the pit set.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, it's completely made up. He seems like a nice guy. It's just people who spend too much time on computer.
I have a friend who's going to be in my 10-minute reading on Saturday, like a little trans musical, kind of fan fiction about the Beatles, basically. Lots of elements in that. But he works in the hospital where the pit is filmed. There's like a whole floor that got abandoned or something, and that's the set of the pit. So the pit is filming in a real hospital. So they are constantly, and they're all scrubbed up, so you can't tell the difference between cast, crew, and actual medical workers in that building when they're like sharing the elevator going around.
Yeah. I remember, I don't know how much Scrubs you've seen, but on the original production of Scrubs, they were in like an abandoned hospital that they basically turned into like their whole production. Like the editing suite was in the hospital, all the apartment sets were built inside the hospital. Like they were just at that one hospital all the time.
I think that's Grey's Anatomy as well, from when I was there in background. It seemed like
your best friend Meredith.
Yeah, I didn't get to see her actually. I think my episode drops in May. I'll plug that later. I'll only plug it when I see it. I'll plug it after the fact. I'll be like,
we'll plug it and see if you're in it. If it's good. Yeah.
No, it can be bad. I just want to make sure I walk across the screen.
Definitely. Yeah, you don't want to have the viewing watch party and then you don't show up in it. You know, they cut you out.
Yeah. I didn't realize this very sexy man was in the show. That makes sense why people watch this.
You talking about Benjamin Bratt here?
Yeah. No, I'm talking about one of these nondescript white guys.
One of these old white men? Oh.
Yeah. Can't get enough.
Can't get enough. Show me what you got.
Okay, so something criminal happened in this stadium.
Yeah, you know what? I'm losing it. Phoebe! I see. Phoebe's mom came home. She was very excited about that. Sorry for all the barking listening audience.
I don't think audiences ever care unless it's a screaming baby. I think people are excited about pets.
It adds texture. You know, you hear the little ducky.
And in that sentence, it kind of sounded like I was equating babies to pets, but that was not my intention, and I'm accountable to that. Intent and impact are different.
Yeah.
Bumpa.
There she is.
Ooh, it's Friday the 13th in this episode. Our girl.
Very spooky.
Julia Roberts has entered the screen.
She's entered the screen. She's wearing a pink top, and you can see her bra underneath it.
Yeah, it's sort of a weird... It's either like a black undershirt or a weird camisole bra situation.
Yeah. How many scenes do we think our Julia is going to be in? 3?
No.
Oh, they've got a little flirtation going on. Referencing
That's why.
behind the scenes details.
It's interesting because this color is really hard for me to pull off because it makes me look really red, but it looks nice and peachy on her.
Yeah.
But her hair is kind of stringy. I guess this was the look.
Very straight and slicked back. I guess, she's in character.
What year was this?
It's an excellent question.
You said it was the, before
It's
Aaron
late
Brockovich?
90s.
Late 90s, okay.
I'm looking it up.
What dope?
Give me the straight dope. Yeah, this
I like
episode
the
aired
idea.
in 1999.
I like the idea that they're not talking about drugs when they're talking about dope. They're just being really cool. What about that dope? That inside dope. Yeah,
How about
that's
that
dope.
They used to a slang term for tough talk used to be dick. So you used to be able to give people tough dick. And they
I missed
didn't think
that.
it was weird. Yeah.
They used to call Blick art supplies Dick Blick, but they changed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They dropped the dick.
Yeah, I actually, I get uncomfortable going to Richard's Sporting Goods store.
Thank you for using the legal name.
Mm-hmm. Passport name.
Would you say she's a brunette, but just with red undertones?
I certainly at this time. Okay, well, that's it. Goodbye.
I think she'll be back.
Maybe she comes back. It would be weird if that was it.
Yeah, I don't even really know what she kind of just gave information. And the information she gave, couldn't tell you.
And now she's being questioned. I'm really not following this episode of Flood. I just, it's either talk or pay attention. And unfortunately.
She's really upset all of a sudden.
Are those her panties? Why do people say that? Why do people call sex the biblical sense?
Maybe that's how they described sex in the Bible.
Yeah, it's like lane with.
Which means we do have to comb through the Bible very carefully and see every time someone was with somebody and make sure that
which is our next podcast.
Is when we go through
each
each verse of the Bible. Yeah, and we see which characters have been described as with each other and make sure that it's noted that they were having sex.
Yeah, it's like Noah, who, like, his daughters get him drunk and they all have sex with him. There's something weird. There's a scene like that in the Bible. It's wild.
Don't remember that. People really like that book.
The Bible? Yeah, it's, but the fandom is really toxic.
I would have to agree.
Bible talk is really, those fans are pretty tough.
It's funny when I accidentally find myself on that side of TikTok, and I'm like, this is probably because of the reality TV shows I watch. Viagra.
Where anyone would get Viagra, the store. Was Viagra like a black market drug in 1999?
I'm also just trying to make sure that she wasn't taking Viagra. I don't think she was.
Or has like a headache med. Is Viagra one of those ones that was invented on accident? They were trying to come up with like heart medication or something.
I'm kind of obsessed with that idea.
Viagra.
I'm kind of obsessed with the idea that somebody had a headache and then they were like, "Wait, I've been hard forever."
Viagra was discovered accidentally by Pfizer researchers in the 1990s while developing a drug for angina, chest pain.
Sure, chest pain. Why would you call it angina?
Angina.
Nothing about that word says chest pain.
You can't be calling it angina.
And then it turns into a sex drug? Okay, come on.
Okay. They were like, okay, we gotta cure like heartburn, we need like a new Pepto-Bismol, and then a guy was hard for 4 hours and they were like, whoa.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Well, that solved one problem.
A lot of very confused like medical testers.
It would suck if you had heartburn but were hard forever and you're like, but now I still have too much heartburn to have sex right now, so now I'm just uncomfortable.
True hell.
Gooning with heartburn? Come on.
Go. That's why heartburn's a young man's game. Or I'm sorry, gooning is a young man's game. Julia's all over this episode.
Yeah, you were wrong. She's in another blush tone shirt.
Yeah.
Plebeians, I've never heard that before.
I've never heard it pronounced that way. I've heard it plebeians.
Me too.
Plebeians. Oh, I don't want any plebeians moving into my neighborhood.
This isn't the man... Is this the man she left for her current husband? Or was that...
I don't know the order of operations. She's with Benjamin Bratt for a while. Yeah, I don't know if she leaves him for Danny.
Oh,
did you know that the old man in this scene is the candelabra from Beauty and the Beast?
No.
Well, now
I gotta
you
listen.
do.
I need more fruit from him then.
Yeah, can you make it a little more gay French?
Julia's giving a performance right now, hence the quiet.
She is fucking acting.
Baby Jane Doe. Keep my name out of this, Baby Jane Doe.
Baby Jane Doe.
Baby Jane Doe.
The pit. You know, they haven't. They're assumedly will resolve the Pit's Baby Jane Doe plotline.
They gotta
tonight.
They gotta.
What do you think's going on there?
I don't know anymore. I'm
literally
just waiting
the entire
to see.
season.
I'm waiting to see what happens with Noah.
I know he's really
Dr. Robbie. I caught it early, and therefore it's just been kind of funny this whole time watching him constantly be suicidal every episode.
Be so normal. Be so regular walking around the ER.
Yeah, everyone's having a really bad day.
Yeah, that's kind of the theme of Pit Season 2, is that, like, it's not as high stakes as Pit Season 1, but everyone's just really having a hard day.
I feel like calling your lawyer is always a good idea in these situations.
Okay, so, I'm sorry, he traded 8 Viagra pills for ball game tickets? Was Viagra illegal at this time? Why can't people just go to the doctor?
Yeah, I wonder.
This is really killing me. The way that they're talking about Viagra. It's like that episode of CSI New York where they go into Second Life and they're like Second Life murders. It's like, well, I just don't think it's that kind of place.
The beginning of Breaking Bad, they're like, they treat marijuana like it's fucking heroin, which is really funny.
I know. Yeah. And it's like 2009, you know?
Yeah. Meanwhile, they're selling blue meth, but they're treating marijuana like
like it's
like blue
as
meth.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vince Gilligan kind of strikes me as like a straight and narrow kind of guy.
Kind of.
Well,
yeah, I guess.
I'll have a glass of red wine after work, but you know, that's about it.
Yeah, maybe that explains some of the weird drug and alcohol use in Pluribus.
Yeah, you know, I don't think Carol was really processing that situation very well. Would you have sex with the Pluribus? We talked about this.
Yeah, and I actually know exactly what I would do with the Pluribus. What would
Gilmore
you do
Girl
with the
Grandpa.
Pluribus?
I think in my high-mindedness, I'd be like, no, I'd resist it. But I think eventually you'd just be so lonely.
Yeah.
You'd ask the Pluribus, you're like, is Dakota Johnson in there, you know? Who you got?
It's always Dakota Johnson. Yeah. Yeah, I know my answer. It's not the morally correct one. It's the cancelable one. I would spend 2 full years in high fantasy, and then I'd probably join them.
You know, who am I to tell you what to do in a Pluribus type situation?
I just think I would make every movie I ever wanted to make.
Yeah,
and direct it the way I would want to direct it. Yeah, and I would want to see it staged.
Unlimited budge.
Yeah. And I would get it out of my system, and then I would go, yeah, it's kind of inevitable to join them, and then I would join them.
Yeah, you talk to the Pluribus and be like, oh, I want to star in Wicked. We're going to do that. We're gonna make it happen. I want to Idina Menzel. She's still alive. We're gonna do the show where she wants to fuck a tree. I didn't get to see it. We're gonna do it again.
I'm unfamiliar.
Oh, Redwood or something? She like sang songs while in a harness next to a big tree.
Kind of sounds like Avatar. It seems like they want to fuck that tree.
Yeah, I talked to the Pluribus and be like, okay, so we're gonna make Na'vi real, right?
And you could, you know,
time.
You could like do the VR stuff. Yeah. Like, there's a lot technology-wise that you could do so quickly. I also would learn a lot of things that I've wanted to learn, like violin, some martial arts, some dancing. I would just,
why not?
if I had endless tutoring resources, I would just full brat prince it up and then join them.
Pluribus is one of those situations where like I think I'd handle it pretty well for a while.
I definitely would handle it well the first
couple years.
I think it would take me about 6 months to get used to it. Then I would enjoy another year of it, and then there'd be a 6-month wind down where I get kind of depressed and face my own mortality, and then I would join them.
Yeah, that's just, I think it'd take some time, read some books. I don't know. I think I'd rock on with it. I was thinking, I watched the first episode of Severance recently, and I'm like, it doesn't seem so bad. I think I'd enjoy that.
I think I've been in Severance many times in my life.
I think I got severed, actually.
I think I've been severed quite a few times. It was a comfort watch. She looks so good in every sunglasses. Sorry I'm always commenting on Julia Roberts' appearance, but we can't not.
She was a movie star, and that is just part of the deal. She was a style icon.
She wants that, what's it called? Witness protection. VIP package.
Yeah, she wants to remain anonymous while still cooperating.
Witness protection must have been it must be so much harder now than it was before cell phones.
Cell phones are just out there, you know what I mean?
People are TikToking everything. You're going to get caught in the background of somebody's TikTok.
Yeah. You don't hear a lot about witness protection these days, but I guess that's
the point. Yeah.
I guess that's the idea. They're not like, and we're putting this guy in witness protection.
I have a friend who just got into
witness protection.
No, but I know she got into like some federal agency intelligence type stuff, and when she told me she was thinking about, or she was up for maybe getting promoted into that, I was like, okay, but I know that in the next 5 years, if you die in a horrible accident, I'm gonna know. I want to know you didn't. I'm gonna know you're out there somewhere. So if anything, it's comforting. That's interesting. Half of the retired cops live in this county. It's a bunch of old cops in that county lurking about. What county is that?
New York County. Manhattan County, USA.
It took me a while to know that I was in Kings County when I lived in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I'm a Queens County man myself. The King of Queens, some call me.
And Lord of Lords.
And he shall reign forever and ever and ever.
And he shall reign forever and ever.
King of
Hallelujah,
Kings.
hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
It's crazy that that's just the chorus of a song. You know what I mean? Like, if you go see Handel's The Messiah, they just do the Hallelujah chorus like 4 times.
Yeah.
Between some other stuff.
I wonder if they like threw it back to that back in the day. What did they throw it back to? I know they were always kind of jigging around, but like, when was the sexy wiggles?
Jigging.
People have been
the sexy
jigging.
Wiggles? Like
the
Australian fellows with the shirts?
Yeah.
Are they gonna fuck? Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes she rocks this look with the cardigan. It's not my fave. It's not her fault. It's
it looks really
costuming.
Cozy.
I just don't like it. Uh-oh.
Not those.
No.
I guess I was surprised how much she's in this episode, but they film an episode of Law and Order in like a week, you know, so it wasn't really that much time.
That's convenient of the writers to be like, he's sexy and he's married, but not for long.
Not for long. That's even worse. I mean, there are a lot of audience members out there for whom like cheating is a zero-sum game. You know, if a character cheats, it's the audience turns on them immediately. It's like the worst thing that they could do.
Yep.
Which I don't, you know, I guess I don't condone it, but like I'm not as hard line on it.
In high school, I would have felt that way.
Cheating is the worst thing.
It seemed like it was like the only things that sociopaths did, and it took me a long time. I thought cheating was for sociopaths. I didn't understand.
It's just so funny how many stories are out there about like murderers, you know, seeing redemption and things like that, but it's like, oh, cheated on his wife? Kill him. Oh my god. All right.
Bum, bum.
We're in the order part.
We're in the pit.
We're in the pit.
This court date is April 14th, 1999.
Is that the day after? It was Friday the 13th previously.
Oh my god, you're right. That was fast.
That was a quick court date. Oh my god.
I
What
didn't
an
know
efficient justice system.
Yeah, I didn't know they could throw it together like that.
Damn. All right, everybody, we're coming in on Saturday. We've got court.
Oh, my mom's getting sort of radicalized right now, which is cool.
Ooh.
For very horrible reasons, but I'm still...
It's always the way, though. It's always, like, gas prices.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not minor. It's just, like, I wish it didn't happen, but... The nurses that took care of my grandpa in hospice last year, they were like running out of gas and looking for directions, and for some reason they pulled into a military base, and which was a bad idea. And the husband got scooped by ICE, and
Jesus.
He just got released yesterday. He's been there for like 2 weeks. And mom was learning how ICE does its own thing outside of the criminal justice system. And she was very confused. And I was like, welcome, Mom.
Yeah, that's another sick thing the pit is doing this year.
Yeah.
Just making ICE seem like a real fucking goon squad.
Yeah, I've heard complaints about being a little bit of a after-school special vibe, but... My friends have made a good point that it's like the pit is extremely mainstream, so this is like getting into a lot of households that otherwise wouldn't be seeing it.
Seek out that information otherwise. And they did it, you know, the nurse who gets like got is like the hot silver fox nurse that everybody likes, that no one has a problem with, you know, and it's kind of the perfect person to get got for that audience. The pit is always like that though. It's always like, well, did you know this about the hospital? And we're all like, oh. Like, sometimes it goes into Wikipedia mode.
Yeah.
God, it's the black market of Viagra pills.
Yeah, I'm still really trying to track what's going on.
I gave up a long time ago.
This was all just a PSA for anti-Viagra.
Careful. It must have, let me see. When did Viagra?
Yeah, it must have just hit market.
When did Viagra come out?
And it was still
It came out the previous year. Yeah. This is a Viagra cautionary tale episode.
The lobbyists messaged Dick Wolf.
This is them doing the pit of like, oh, you know.
Law and Order does do that. You catch it a couple of times where they go, you know, statistically, and it's like something that was like just discovered that year.
Yeah. And the news cycle was slower, you know, back in 98, 99. So it was like, yeah, you could, you know, this was kind of this was a hot button issue. This guy's got to get Rory into Chilton.
Whoa.
McGurk. Nobody's named McGurk.
That's why she changed it.
Yeah. Via Viagra? Didn't you try to kill yourself by taking a bunch of Viagra? Therapy was also new in the 90s. They hadn't thought of that yet.
Yeah, it was interesting because it seems like a lot of things that take place in New York, there's always like, I have a shrink. I have a
my
therapist.
analyst.
Yeah, like more in New York than anywhere else. It's sort of like, oh, if you're in New York, you're going to be mentally unstable.
You have a therapist, yeah.
And I did when I was in New York.
Hey.
I didn't have proper graduation photos, so I just had a friend take them around like the places I like to go, and one of them was in front of the brownstone of my therapist's office.
Good.
That was nice. This is so funny. In today's world, roofing someone with Viagra because you think that with their heart condition it would kill them is so funny.
It's a classic prank.
I just feel like so many more people take Viagra with heart conditions today than should, to the degree that this is very funny.
Make a hoop foundation.
Yeah, you gotta you gotta make one goal in basketball. It's to train people to be able to throw 3-pointers. Make a hoop.
Make a hoop foundation.
That's so silly. I love this fit. He's a priest, but he's got a cool windbreaker on.
Absolutely. It's is that Ernie Hudson?
I couldn't tell you.
No, probably not if it was just that. I'm sorry to Ernie Hudson and to this man. The Make a Hoop Foundation. John Cena comes to your hotel room and shows you how to dunk.
She talks very slow in this episode.
Yeah.
The lighting is so interesting.
I mean, it's very like, you know, they got to get this episode out. Put a light in the window and let's rock.
Yeah, it's very sort of noir, but you gotta imagine they do this for.
I mean, this is still better lit than I would say about 90% of current television shows.
I agree.
Shadows, contrast.
You can see how they taught literal 3-point lighting from this. I keep trying to look at how the lights in the pit work because they're all overhead, and I know they're specialized. Yeah. But I'm just like, how do they bounce off to hit? I have so many questions about that.
They're actually probably blocking a lot of the overhead lights when they're shooting and then bringing in other lights, you know?
I don't think they bring... I think I watched some BTS that they don't bring in.
Overhead?
I think so.
Wow.
And there might be some side stuff, but because they shoot from all angles, it's all integrated somehow. And I keep trying to watch for it. Ooh, threw him under the bus. Oh, she lying.
What else is tainted?
Wow, he's like she's lying that she slept with him.
Why would she do such a thing? Is it because she's a murderer? Don't let my wife hear that stuff.
Viagra pusher.
You're always trying to fucking the guy on your street corner opens his trench coat and like, you wanna buy some Viagra?
Wiggles little blue pills.
Eh?
Oh man.
Dang.
Not my MS wife. Okay, now it's June.
Oh,
had to wait
okay.
2 months.
All right, that's a little... Wow. Okay, I didn't realize they would honor the court turnaround system so much.
It's law and order.
Show enough. I just, I thought... I didn't realize the show was like, so out of chronology, They show you one case an episode, but it jumps through time so much. Street address. Gilmore Grandpa, is it real? He's a bastard man.
This is so annoying. I would hate talking to this man.
The No-Tell Motel Holiday Inn?
Oh, it's Legally Blonde. And she said she got a perm. But you can't take a shower after a perm because it needs 36 hours to blah, 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 blah. And you've been getting a perm for your whole life. Isn't that right?
It is permanent. I wish it was permanent. What is this guy's problem?
I mean, technically.
Just once.
Whoa. Okay, so he cheats.
Maybe next time he'll think before he cheats. I've never made a mistake as a cop.
It's interesting. He didn't need to bring up that he's cheated on his wife before.
He just wanted to. He just wanted to tell Julia. Is like, you know, it could have been.
He's like, I just kind of want this on public record.
Mark it down that I pull. Mark it. I want it.
I pull outside of my wife with MS.
Can you mark it down in the court record that I've never taken Viagra and I don't need it, and I cheat on my wife all the time with beautiful women? Can you mark that down?
Or just mark down that I have done it once, but I have not done it again. But no one asked if I had done it before.
I kind of freely admitted it of my own volition.
When I was at Make a Hoop, I talked to this priest. And he made me feel like I needed to make a confession.
And the priest, it wasn't played by Ernie Hudson, but it could have been.
People have teeth in the 90s.
I really miss when people had regular teeth.
No, she's gonna stop him. Yep. What? What is she saying?
She was playing him. It was so important to build the football stadium.
Because stadiums famously keep their names forever.
They don't change just based upon which company currently is paying the light bill.
You know, Staples Center. Oh,
for
sorry.
the Crypto.com
Crypto.
arena.
Exactly.
Wow.
Bum, 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 bum.
Wow, that was amazing. I wasn't really following it at all, but I had a great time watching Law and Order.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm gonna get hooked again.
Absolutely, I'm going back in. I love Law, and frankly, love Order.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that this wasn't... I hate when I'm like, I get a special interest and then I accidentally shape my life around it. And I'm hoping that... that wasn't the case with Law and Order SVU, and then me going, you know what, I'll go to law school. I'm hoping I had more forethought than that.
Many such cases, frankly.
But is it any different than watching a movie and going, I'm going to be an actor?
No, it's exactly the same thing.
Well, speaking of acting, I will be in a production of Macbeth going from May 8th to May 12th at Moving Arts Theater. I think we have 8 performances, meaning some
Amazing.
shows are double show days, some are matinees. And so you can catch it in Los Angeles, May 8th through May 12th. I'll be one of the witches. And my account is on private until my results come back from my law school applications. So you
Can't be
try to
having
follow
them
me on
see
social
the
media.
Schlossberg posts. Can't be having them see that.
Those are on close, but I have been making off-color posts. I've been getting a little unhinged again. I've been really disciplined through the study process, and now that it's my last week, I'm sort of like, and then here are all my silly little thoughts that I've been holding for months. But yeah, currently I was watching Love Story, doing my due diligence for my Ryan Murphy murder cult. I have to sort of make sure that I'm on top of things, tracking these various actors and
Every
their
new drop.
involvements. Yeah. And it was strangely, it was pretty, gotta say, it was kind of relatable. All of the family stuff. They're like compound. There's a bush compound in Maine, and that's where we had to go every summer. It's called Kennebunkport, Maine. It's called Walker's Point, and it is very Kennedy. Not to the extreme. The same way that I watch Succession as a comfort watch, I am enjoying that. So I was posting little fan fiction on my close friends about me and Jack Schlossberg, the baby Kennedy. Mostly silly. And then I remembered that RFK is a Kennedy, and I just repress him at all times. And I went, you know what?
Yeah.
This bit isn't funny anymore.
You would have to, spend Christmas.
Nope.
Hark
And
the herald angels
yeah,
sing.
exactly. And sort of like the grotesque fear of that is how I know that people feel that way about my family. I know that people are having the same thought with me.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
I
But I
couldn't
think
do
there's,
Christmas.
of course you've experienced several real world instances, but I do think we're growing distance between like the last time the Bushes were like hyper relevant to our day to day life. I think it's going to get less and less over time unless, Jenna makes a pivot.
Yeah, there's a few running actually. There's one running in Maine right now. There's a few more, but even lack of...
Yeah, but like Maine doesn't count. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but like no one's got their finger on that pulse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not pressed. Yeah, but there's a few, they're hovering, even whether they're relevant or not, once people make the realization that, oh, would I have to interact with these people? That's when the decisions are made.
Yeah.
It's less like relevancy judgment. It's more like, oh, what's the reality of actually coming to Thanksgiving with me? Not that I'm spending every Thanksgiving with these people, but
No.
whatever weird stuff most people have had to do with their family, I have done with mine.
Exactly. And of course you can get confessions like this one whole week early over at patreon.com/tvskevin for as little as $1 a month. Subscribe to the newsletter, tvskevin.substack.com. You can get that on Patreon early as well. And I think that'll about do it for our Law and Order commentary. And we'll be back just 1 week from now with something really stupid. So I hope you enjoy.
I'm excited for that. And we also will be here with the Mexican shortly. Soon.
Shortly is not the name of a Mexican guy. We're going to talk about the movie The Mexican,
which is such
in
a
an
weird
expeditious
name.
manner. It is.
And it came out in 2003-ish, which makes it even...
Yeah, it was 2001. So it was like, it was just very... Yeah. So it was a big Y2K millennium movie. Sorry. when we were just 1 year into the millennium when this one dropped. But until next time, listeners, don't, check your Viagra. Make sure you're not getting any fentanyl in your Viagra when you buy black market off the street Viagra.
Yeah, be careful. When you're gooning. Be careful
out there.
Be careful gooning out there.
God, using Viagra to goon. That's tough. That's tough to think about. That's tough.
I feel like that's the best way to do it, right?
I really want to. Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's kind of a long process, right? Yeah.
Like if that's what you're going for, I feel like that is the way to go about it.
No, totally. I hadn't thought about it before.
Also, if you're giving people Viagra with pre-existing heart conditions, you might be convicted of murder. So
be careful.
Lies, you're telling me that you'll be true. Lies, that's all I ever hear from you. Tears, I shed a million tears for you. Tears, and now you're loving someone new. Someday I'm gonna be happy, but I don't know when just now. Lies, you're breaking my heart.
Tastes like you, but sweeter.
Please tell your friends about this show.
That was quite a show. Very entertaining. I want to live!
This has been a Talkback Podcast.